Welcome to my final pregnancy update. This is sort of like a 39-week update, my last update that I'm filming prior to being induced. I am being induced on Wednesday, November 1st. You will definitely be seeing this video after that, but I go in Wednesday evening, so the evening of November 1st to start my induction, and then hopefully deliver on November 2nd. That's the plan. Obviously inductions take varying amounts of time, so it'll be within the next few days that I have a kid. Tomorrow is Halloween, so we have about 48 hours until we head to the hospital for my induction, which is, I understand, my brain understands what that means, and I'm like saying it like I get it, but like I also feel like my brain's not letting me like mentally process that all the way. So kind of a weird feeling, because I feel like I should be like super like nervous and anxious, but as of right now I don't feel that, which is good. But I know that the closer it gets, the more I will start to feel those things, which I don't want to stress myself out, obviously, but it is a scary thing, and it's an exciting thing, and something that I actually mentioned this to Jarvis the other day, but something that my dad said to me once when I was like in middle school or something was, whenever you feel like nervous or like anxious, to like welcome the feeling and embrace the feeling instead of trying to like push it away. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just like embrace the nerves and, you know, make a conscious decision to do so that I don't push it away and then kind of make things worse. That's what happens a lot of the time, I feel like. And I'm a pretty anxious, nervous, you know, overly cautious and paranoid person a lot of the time. So that's something that's hard for me to do, and that's a better thing to tell somebody than to just tell them to relax. So instead of like telling a nervous person like, oh, just relax, like it's fine, telling me to like embrace the feeling instead of just like, you know, like pretend it's not there, I feel like was something that stuck with me for some reason. I'm pretty sure he said that to me when I was gonna like have like a presentation in school or something like that, like something that wasn't very important but at the time felt like a really big deal. But that's something that I try to think about a lot. So anyway, starting things off great. So this is sort of like a 39-week update, but it's basically my final thoughts before going in to give birth. I've been feeling very tired, very uncomfy, not great. My nausea has come back, which is apparently a common thing for the last few weeks of pregnancy. And yeah, I just have not been feeling that great overall, but you know, there's parts of the day where I feel better. I had like a 2.5 hour nap today that felt really good, definitely needed that. So we have just been finishing things up to get ready for baby girl to be here, and we have pretty much everything on our to-do lists done. We just have a few things left. I have some things I want to film before she's here, because I don't know how hectic or crazy it's gonna be. I don't know. We're just gonna kind of go based on feel as far as like when I'm gonna start filming again and all of that. But I want to have some pre-filmed stuff so that there's not like a huge gap of time where I'm not posting. So that's the plan for today. Tomorrow's Halloween. We're just gonna relax and enjoy our last day, not at the hospital or as parents. So yeah, that's kind of just an immediate update for you. I've definitely started feeling tightness and like contractions and whatnot. I also, like I said, my nausea came back. I actually got sick the other day, or yesterday, or the day before, I don't even know. I think it was yesterday actually, which I haven't gotten sick since my first trimester, but I don't know, the nausea, I looked it up. It says it can be an early sign of labor, but that could mean, you know, days before or, you know, hours before, whatever. Still not in labor yet, so we're still fine, but I definitely, every day I feel like worse and more intense symptoms. So I definitely feel like my body is naturally kind of starting to progress, but I obviously won't know until I get to the hospital where my cervix is at and whatnot. So I don't think I filmed an update after my last appointment, but I had an appointment at 38 weeks and it went well. Had another stress test, or non-stress test, not a stress test. Had another non-stress test that was normal. I had an ultrasound done just to make sure she was still like head down, which she was. She did have, or I do have, like more fluid than normal, so it's like, you know, she has a little bit of extra space in there to move around. They said they would rather there be too much than not enough, so there's a little bit more than there was the week before, and more than what would be considered like normal. So they said basically the risk with that is that she has more space to potentially flip back to be breech where she's head up. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I haven't felt that happen. I don't know if I would feel that happen, but as far as the ultrasound goes, it was a super quick ultrasound and that was perfectly fine. Her face is still facing up, which, like, as in she's head down, but her face is facing anterior, which typically you want them to be like face down when they come out, but I think that can happen like while you're in labor, that flip can happen. So that's not something like concerning or anything like that. And then I had a cervical check, and oh my gosh, this cervical check actually hurt. In my last update, I was like, the cervical check was nothing. The Group B strep like swab was nothing, which was true for me at my 37-week appointment or 36-week appointment. But I had a different doctor do the cervical check, and oh my goodness, that was uncomfortable. I was not prepared for it. Like, I didn't think it was gonna hurt, so I wasn't like bracing myself or anything, and I was like kind of like squirming in discomfort because it like actually did kind of hurt. And she said I was dilated a fingertip, so that's more than before, because at 36 weeks my cervix was closed. 38 weeks I had a fingertip. So you know, hopefully I'm more than a fingertip when I go in for my induction, but who knows, we'll see. Whatever it is fine, and we'll make it work. But yeah, that was my 38-week appointment. I realized I didn't even talk about that, but it wasn't like unbearable pain or anything, but it was very, very uncomfortable. Way, like, the most uncomfortable anything I've ever had, like worse than a pap smear or any kind of anything. So yeah, that was not fun, but it you know, it only lasts a few seconds and then it's over and it's not a big deal. But yeah, that was my 38-week appointment, and I don't have any more appointments. And she was like, well, your next appointment will be your induction unless like you don't feel good or something doesn't feel right, your blood pressure or whatever. I've been continuing to monitor my blood pressure, which is the reason for my induction at 39 weeks. And I've been monitoring it, and it's still, you know, elevated, but not too far to where I have to like call the hospital. They told me if it's ever above 160 over 100, like if either number is above 160 over 100, I need to call. That's like the threshold, which my blood pressures have been for the last like 2-3 weeks. They've been kind of sitting around, my top number could be normal. Sometimes it's 112, sometimes it's 130. Pretty much the highest I get is 130 for my top number, which isn't like overly high. Obviously it's a little bit elevated, but my bottom number, I think the highest I've gotten is like 96, 97. So my bottom number is what has been elevated like consistently over the last few weeks. So that's been like the main number that I have been like watching, but I've been continuing to take my blood pressure at home, and it's still kind of sticking around the, you know, say 110 to 130 over like 190 to 197. So yeah, that is my appointment update, blood pressure update. I'm trying to think. I guess I'll just kind of give my final thoughts on my first pregnancy. Overall, I feel like it was a pretty good pregnancy. Pretty mild. There was a few like non traditional or normal things like my blood pressure and whatnot, but overall I feel very lucky that I've had a relatively mild pregnancy. I know I've complained a lot, especially to Jarvis, about being in pain or uncomfortable, waking up every few hours to go pee during the night and being nauseated, food aversions, all of that. Like, looking back, it doesn't feel like it was that bad, but I know that when I was in those stages, like, it felt like it was really bad. Like, not being able to like hardly eat anything in my first trimester because there was like 3 things that I could look at without feeling nauseated, and it was just, I did not feel good, and it sucked at the time. But like looking back, it's been enough time where I'm like, oh, like it wasn't that bad. And I know like a lot of people have it a lot worse with like morning sickness and whatnot, but yeah, I definitely am excited to not have crushed lungs anymore and to be able to like bend down and put my shoes on and just like not feel, pregnant anymore. I know there's still like a long recovery afterwards for several weeks, and I'll have new things to complain about, but I'm excited for her to be here. She's been moving a lot. I feel her, kicking up in my ribs sometimes, but yeah, I'm excited to meet her. I'm nervous. I want to know what she's gonna look like, but hopefully my labor goes as smoothly as my actual pregnancy has gone, because like I said, it's been pretty smooth so far. The last few weeks have definitely been the hardest weeks for me, which I didn't think it was gonna get worse than that first trimester, because the second trimester I felt a lot better. It still didn't feel great, but way better than the beginning. But these last, like, from like 4 weeks on has definitely been the hardest, like, on me, like mentally, and just like pain and discomfort and not sleeping for longer periods of time than like 2-3 hours. So yeah, the last little bit, they say, is all, it's like terrible in the beginning, then it gets better, then it gets bad again. That definitely has been my experience. It's just been different. Like, the beginning and the end has been very different, like, negative side effects and feelings. But, it definitely is getting not so comfy. But I only have 2 more days left of this, so then we're gonna have a kid to be responsible for and take care of and listen to cry. I don't know how to change a diaper. I don't know how to swaddle a baby. I don't know, like, there's so much that I don't know that we're gonna learn. And I've learned so much just through watching people online and reading, and kind of like even reading like the instructions on the breast pump, and knowing like the time that you have for baby to consume breast milk, if it's refrigerated versus frozen versus room temperature, and still learning that you're supposed to wash and sanitize things, and safe sleep, and all of these different things. There's a lot to learn, and I'm sure there's a lot that we still don't know, but we're as prepared as we can be, I guess. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited for you guys to meet her, and I'm excited to see how our lives look, because we've been just the 2 of us for the last, I don't know how many years, and you know, we have our routines, and obviously that's gonna change. We've got Poncho, that's gonna be an adjustment, I'm sure. I think he's gonna do really well. He loves people and he gets very excited, and sometimes he doesn't understand his size. I don't think, like, he'll just like bulldoze into you. So it's gonna be a big transition, and you know, we've been working on words like gentle and slow and, you know, things like that, and it's definitely going to be a big transition for having a baby and a dog. So I think he's gonna do well, and obviously I'm gonna be a helicopter mom when it comes to the, you know, Poncho and baby girl, and you know, it's gonna be good. We'll figure it out. Everyone figures it out, so we're gonna figure it out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else big to talk about before we wrap up this update, but I don't really think so. I feel like I don't know what to expect. I've watched so many birth vlogs, it's not even funny. But I don't watch the, like, I watch them if it says positive experience, only because I understand, and like I know that, you know, a lot of times things don't go to plan and things happen and whatever, but just like for my like mental space, I want to watch the ones that are like positive experiences. It still shows, like, you know, people in pain and the, you know, longer labors and all kinds of things. Like I'm not like in, you know, I don't have my head in the clouds in a perfect little utopia. Like, I understand, but I've been trying to kind of expose myself to just like the process, the experience. So I've been watching a ton of labor vlogs, induction vlogs, and yeah, I think it's been helping me. I could see that not helping some people, but I think it's been helping me by watching those videos. It kind of helps calm me down, and then seeing like the relief on the mom's faces when the babies are born, or just like, you know, hearing their thoughts like immediately after. Like, I know it's gonna be like the hardest thing that I've ever done, but I'm just trying to not be negative about the situation, and there's no point in me stressing about it, because whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So yeah, I'm trying to stay positive and kind of keep things a little bit more lighthearted. So that's what I've been doing with my time. Been watching birth vlogs on YouTube, and it's been good, so I'm excited. I had some questions on if I'm gonna film a birth vlog. I don't know what my plan is. I'm just gonna kind of do whatever feels right, so we'll see. There might be some sort of something, but yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna do whatever feels right. So yeah, Jarvis is gonna be the one in the hospital. He's gonna be the only one in the hospital with me while I'm like laboring and giving birth. And then we're gonna have our parents visit us in the hospital afterwards, and then we're gonna come home and try to adjust to our whole new life. So luckily Jarvis has like parental leave for a while, so he'll be here to help me, and we'll learn this new, you know, situation. We'll adjust together, and yeah, I know he's gonna be a big help, because he's already been such a big help to me during I'm gonna cry. He's already been such a big help to me during this pregnancy. So I literally can't cry because I have to film like 5 more videos today, so this is not okay. But I am appreciative and thankful for him, and thankful for you guys. Thank you for kind of going on this journey with me, and for all of your supportive, kind words, and all of your excitement, and all of the amazing like love and gifts that you guys have given our family, and we just really appreciate all of you. And it's insane that I'm gonna have a kid. Like, how is that possible? I don't know. Like, how is there a literal baby inside of my belly right now? I don't know. I feel like it's not real. But I know it is. So anyway, I'm gonna stop getting in my feels before I'm uncontrollably crying and can't stop. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on this first pregnancy up until this point, and my final update. It's been fun. I'll kind of do a, let's see if I can get up off the floor so I can do a bump update for you guys. Here we are at 38 weeks. Let me see if I can kind of come down a little bit. 38 weeks and 5 days. So almost 39 weeks. Here's my final bump update. I think this will be my final one. I don't know, we'll see, but probably my final bump update. And it's literally insane how big my belly is and feels. Like, what the heck? So I have my Amazon pregnancy leggings on. I'm sure I'm gonna wear these for a while, postpartum as well. So yeah, I'll have them linked down below. I definitely recommend them. I have them in gray, I have them in black, and I have them in pink. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.